And it helps if you add it to the stream. And hello, everyone. Good evening and welcome to Paranormal Q&A with Auntie Anne and Auntie Renata, the paranormal grannies of the underworld. Welcome. Who have we got on? We've got Yindy Mara sending their apologies that they're watching the footy tonight. What? Hi, Robert. Hi, Joanne. Here's watching from Cannock Chase. Hope you've all listened to our True Hauntings podcast on Cannock Chase. Hey, Becca Lee. Hi, Karen. And Zena or Catherine. Virginia, long time no see. And who else we got on? Esther. Hi, Esther. You had a good birthday. Oh, that's awesome. Good on you. Scary. 24 months till she's 40.
Oh, I wish.
Do you like Renata's friend? Who knows where that, not the movie or the name of it, but the video that we did, what does it come from? Hi, Andrew. There's Andrew. Hi, Sky. And hello, F Dragon and Sir Stash. How are you? Hi, Sandra. Hi, Megan. Hi, Desley. Justin. Hello.
Raylene.
Oh, Raylene. Danielle. Yeah, Lisa nailed it. Have you seen our Temu unboxings? They are freaking hilarious. Particularly the last one where I ordered some lanterns to light the stairway for our one of our paranormal tours, the residents, and I didn't read the instructions, so you will have to go over it and see what happens, but it's bloody funny.
Yes.
And then she rips me off for the rest of it. Yeah. And it's great because it's actually, hi Leanne, it's actually bringing people to us who would never have found us. Hello, JWP068 and Leanne. Yeah, so there are people. Oh no, Raylene, I'm sorry. Yes, I reckon we should make earrings. I think you're absolutely right, Desley. Yeah, so we just did this unboxing thing to see how it would go, and now Temu has seen it, and they've actually reached out to us, and they're sending us $120 of free products to unbox and review honestly. Free. Happy with that.
Aren't they going to be surprised?
Oh, that's Johnny. It's little Johnny. Oh, good on you, John. About time you had a crack at that. Glad you popped that cherry, my love. How's your puppies? Yeah, I reckon. Oh, yeah, it's no, not tarot tonight, Andrew. It is our paranormal Q&A. So if you've got any questions about the paranormal or things that you're curious about, let us know. Let us know. Ask us some questions, or you can just ask questions about our upcoming Ireland or the UK trip or the Germany or the Prague trip. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much, Raylene.
Now, I do have something with me tonight. These have now just come in. These are a special order, and they are a clearing spray that has been created from a mixture of Palo Santo and white sage. So if you are after a clearing spray for yourself or your home, I have 10 of these beauties that have been created. It is a spray, and they are $22 each, and on top of that goes your postage. So I haven't had time to put labels on them, but I thought if anyone's interested,
so
I can put some away for you. So it's a mixture of Palo Santo and white sage. Doesn't smell fabulous because it's not the perfumed thing that you're after. You're actually after the Palo Santo and the sage to do the clearing on an area. So it is in a spray form, and these were specifically created for moi and for ya. And so if you want any, there goes a hand.
Cool.
They are going to be available
It's going
from
to be
us.
a good bra.
How do you use the spray? You use it like this. What that?
Oh, yeah. It's definitely, I can smell the Palo Santo.
Yeah.
I can really smell. My husband always says, you've been burning ants.
Yeah. So Palo Santo is the North American.
Hi, Pauline.
And no, Palo Santo is the South American. White sage is North American. They do exactly the same thing, but the melding of the two is really potent.
Oh, we did have some questions. So this is interesting what Andrew is saying. I think that ego is trying to overpass my clairaudient abilities. Now, explain what that means, Renata, when you're monkey brain and...
Yeah, Andrew, you need to explain what you think is going on there, because that is a big statement to make. And you kind of have to really let us know what you think is going on. So when ego kicks in, it is sometimes this great desire that you are hearing things that you're not really. So you're kind of trying to put things together so that they match or they work, when really it's random stuff. Hello, Dee Rivera from Texas.
Hi, Dee. Any recommendations of egg cleansings? I just did 2 because the first one, the yolk, came out on the side.
Dee, explain that.
Hang on, I'll massage my brain so I can...
I don't know what egg cleansings are, my sweetheart. I have not heard of those. So explain. That would be awesome.
But thank you. Oops, what have I gone up to? I've got up to here. What is your favourite experiment to conduct on a ghost hunt? Oh, geez, are we boring you all?
Sorry. Sorry. Look, I have to say, and I know you're not particularly in the favour of it. Oh, God, that hand looks just crazy.
It looks so good on camera.
You can't see the top of it. It just looks odd. I do like the bionic ear. I do like the bionic. I do like the bionic ear. And so the bionic ear is a listening device that amplifies all noise. And so everyone's wearing headphones, and then I switch on the bionic ear.
And you make me yawn. Thanks for that.
You're welcome. Don't.
You started. What do you mean, don't?
And so you're hearing everything amplified. And what I like about it is it makes everyone really still and listen.
Oh, so everyone shuts up. That's what you like.
I love that they're all tuning in and trying really hard to hear what's going on. So I got to say I like that.
My favourite one is the Estes method. I really love it when we start to get back and forth question and answers when the people on the headphones can't hear the question, so therefore they're not faking it. They can't fake it because they don't know. They can't hear what the question is to be able to give you the answer. So that is still one of my favourite things to do. And a good EVP session. A good EVP session.
Oh, Warrioress, I'm so sorry that your puppy is missing. That's sad. I think you're going to have to go out and try and find him. I don't think he's going to come home on his own or her. I think that puppy is somewhere where it may well be quite safe, but you're going to have to search for it.
I'm just going through other... unless you've eaten too many Easter eggs. Maybe that's what it is. Yeah, sorry, Asma, it is not the tarot readings tonight. This is paranormal Q&A. Dee, I vaguely have heard something about that, asking the egg to absorb any negative energy, hexes, and ill will to be removed. I have vaguely heard about that, but that's not an area of my expertise at all. Sorry. We would probably remove negative energy and hexes and things like that in a different way. What
is that part of your culture?
Yeah, I was going to say, what culture does this belong to?
So if it's part of your culture, you'd have to go in and find out what the ramifications are of an egg breaking or something as part of what that belief system thinks about this. I've never practiced it that way, so I can't say I am in any way an expert of working out how that works or not.
Well, I'm just going through and highlighting a few. But Dee, I'm interested. I would like to know the cultural aspect of where that comes from, because that is really interesting. We always love to learn something new, and we won't lie. We won't pretend we know the answer to things we don't know the answer to. Raylene, how long are the resident nights going to continue for? My husband and I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I'd love to bring my son and his girlfriend along. They're only allowing us to book 1 month at a time in advance, the tours, because they just don't know when it's going to go. Originally, it was going to be June. Or actually, it was May, June. So we've been very lucky to have it for as long as what we've had it. I think we've still got some tickets left for, what's Friday or Saturday night?
Saturday night. Saturday. We've got 4 tickets left for Saturday at the moment.
Yeah, so I would get in as soon as you can, because we just can't guarantee when it's going to go. We're having a meeting with Maitland Jail tomorrow, so maybe we'll find out more. So Andrew, when I concentrate on my clairaudient, my ego tries to say the opposite or other words. Yeah, right. Okay, so your monkey brain's getting in the road, and you're overthinking instead of just allowing it to flow. Is that sort of what we're doing there?
So, Andrew, the best way to work with that is to get into a group situation where you can practice or where you can be mentored. So wherever you are, if there is a spiritual group or a working group or a practice group, maybe attached to a New Age shop or something around where you are, find out whether there is something like that and see if you can get with people that you do not know so that you can make some, do some practice.
Does this happen? Have heard paranormal investigators talk about a burnout while investigating. Do you mean while they're doing the investigation or just in general, like they're overdoing things and trying to do too many things and then they're getting sick and they can't keep going because they're just exhausted and... In that case, I would say yes.
Anne Wilson, someone keeps touching your feet.
Hang on. No, I just want to finish with Xena a little bit more. If you do not stay hydrated, if you don't watch your sugar levels, and like if you overeat sweets and junk food like that, you will have like an insulin spike, and that will send you downhill. So when you're investigating, you really must stay hydrated, even with some what's those sports drinks, the salty sport drinks and things like that.
And stuff.
Yeah, but not the caffeine ones, not the ones that make you all hyperactive. You really should take care of your body because you are normally working well into the late hours and the wee hours of the morning, and your brain will be wanting to shut down and sleep. You're eating shit, and it just is not a good combination, and then you just want to go and curl up in a corner and sleep. So, yeah, it can happen. Well, tell them to stop, Anne.
I think it's not someone. I think it's an animal.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. I think it's either a pussycat or a dog.
Have you got any pets in spirit, Anne? Let us know. How do you use the red torch for ghost hunting? The reason why we use the red torch, apart from the fact it looks really cool and spooky, it's because if you use white light, you lose your night vision. So, like, if you're in the dark, you're trying to be very still, you're trying to reduce the amount of stimuli to your brain and just listen and feel. If you switch a white light on, you lose your night vision, and it's like, oh my God, because I know that when we do the spirit box experiment, you turn that light on, it hurts your eyes. So we use a red light because you can still see what you're doing, and you don't get that blindness when you light something up. So that's really the only reason why we use red torches for ghost hunting. Oh, hi, Joan. Thank you both for last night. It was a great night. Thank you for coming and joining us on here.
Hi, Joan.
Had such a great night, and Joel was just the best host. We really enjoyed ourselves, didn't we?
Yeah, it was good.
Sorry, well, I think Daisy had another question there. Do you have an app that you like to use? Well, you do.
Got a couple. We tend to use Spirit Talker, and Spirit Talker is an app that you can get on Android. I think it's on Apple as well. And it's a bank of words, and it will, your phone will sort of look at ambient atmospheric conditions, and it will kind of bring up words or very short phrases. And some of it is just rubbish. Some of it just doesn't fit or suit, depending on, where you're at or what questions you've been asking. But sometimes it just fits so well that it's like you go, that's crazy. I can't believe it just said that. So we kind of use that as something to focus on, to help us focus. So you're not sitting there in dead silence. And it's been pretty good.
Isaac just sent us a message. I was hoping it was a picture of Addie, but no, it's a joke.
Oh. That's random.
It is. It's funny though. It's that one with the my housemates think this house is haunted. I've lived here for 237 years, not seen anything. That is funny. No, Joan, we didn't listen to the radio. Did you?
Were you on?
Were you on? Did they do some of the clips and everything from last night? I hope it came across okay. I hope we didn't sound like idiots. No, the app that I like to use, Daisy, is I like the Portal because it's chopped up words, it's back to front. It does go in a loop sometimes, but the thing is, if we're asking questions and we get intelligent responses, then we've got something really interesting that's happening. And last night we did have one of our lovely people on, Nicole. Nicole was on, and she seemed to be almost channeling the responses, and it was great. But be aware with apps that they should not access your microphone. They have no need to access your microphone unless they're trying to listen to what you're saying and then copy what you're saying, and make sure they don't have access to your location. Again, there is no reason for it to have access to your location unless it uses Google Maps to work out where you are. Say we're at Maitland Jail, and so it starts spitting out words about jails and prisons, because then you think you've got a real ghost there, but it's not. It's cheating. Hi, Hash. Yeah. Have you ever had a positive paranormal experience that has really stuck with you? Many.
Hundreds.
More positive than negative.
Hundreds.
Even when we're at the jail and we're on the spirit box and they're going, slut, bitch, whore, it's a term of endearment. I know that they recognise me, and it's sort of a fun little game that we have going on there. we've had so many healing messages come through. We've had, like, even when you're asking if you could come forward and touch the music box that has the silver stick on it, which is a REM pod, and it lights up. That's a positive experience because we've asked them to do something and they very graciously have come forward and done that for us. That's wonderful. Yeah, we're way more positive than negative. So that's an awesome question. Thank you. Priscilla, do you think highly haunted places like the Q Station are mostly haunted, for example, Gravesdigger's Cottage, only because tour guides keep rehashing the same stories of murder and evil, etc., over and over on a nightly basis? So, in a sense, just creating the hauntings themselves.
Oh, Priscilla, you're our person. You are our person. Yay. In short,
I used to work at Q Station, but we ran the paranormal investigator experience and told no stories and used to roll our eyes every time we would hear those bullshit stories. Sorry, but they're bullshit.
Yeah. In a nutshell, yes. Yeah. And look, Q Station has
It is haunted.
A lot of energies, but not so much where the tour guides take people. Pardon me.
Oh, right. Sorry, you finished. I thought that was halfway through a thing there. Right.
No,
let's go back up to Daisy. I have another question. Is there something you should say when you visit a site and when you are leaving to show respect for the spirits? Daisy, I like you too. Absolutely. When we go on site, like I work in A wing of Maitland Jail, and quite often I will go in and I'll say, "Hi guys, I'm here. Great to be back. I've missed you." And I'll talk to them like they're there with me and treat them like one of my mates. And at the end of the night, I'll say, "Thanks so much for everything. It's been a great night. Love yous all. I'll see you in a couple of weeks. I'll see you next week." But when we go into a location, we sort of will do the whole, "I'm Anne, I'm Renata."
Yeah. So we introduce ourselves.
Like we're going into their home.
Kind of say what we're there for.
What our intention is.
And then at the end, kind of just go, "Look, I appreciate you spending your time with me."
Yeah.
That's it. That's all you need.
So I'm just going through and trying to find any that I may have missed. Because I'm trying to star the comments so they can come back to them. I'll just get out of that one. And Becca Lee, hello, gorgeous one. Gee, you looked hot. You look so good. Sorry, in your wedding photos or what you had, they looked amazing.
Yeah, a birthday photo. So, favourite places, or plenty. The next place we're going to, that's our favourite place, wherever that might be. So many, Becca, so many. And so many that are kind of notorious and well known. I loved going to the Ancient Ram Inn. That was really exciting for me. It was really exciting to go to Chillingham Castle. It was really exciting to go to the Tower of London.
It's the big named places that I am so excited to go and visit, because I can, and it's an ego thing. I can say I've been there, particularly when we've had the chance to investigate. Generally nothing happens, not because we're shit investigators, but we're realists.
True. I'm not going to say there's a demon or a ghost everywhere I go just because I need to feel important and that you like me. You know, and
thank you for the stars too. Those people who sent those through.
It's important to be real and to tell people that tonight nothing's really going on. And that's just the way it is. It's the way it is.
Oh, Joanne, thank you so much. Oh, wow.
Thank you, Joanne.
Wow, thank you so much. We are heading off to Ireland and England in 3 weeks and 6 days. And every single cent we are, the stars and the super stickers are going towards basically feeding us while we're there. I mean, I know I have got some reserves, but we're just about out of money. Just about gone. So Thank you very much. We really, really appreciate it. Kim, thank
Bye,
you so
Kimmy.
much. My favourite place, I want to take Renata to America. I really want to get her over there and see some of the amazing locations. And Stanley Hotel is still one of my favourite locations that I've visited. Being in the pet cemetery at night with the snow falling, and being in the room that Stephen King slept in that blew up in an explosion, and it's just, there's something about it. Ross, welcome. Is it true how if you put salt everywhere, it's meant to keep evil spirits away? I said it a lot on shows and movies and always wondered. Good question. The reason why salt is thought of to be a protective element or device, I suppose, if you want to call it, is that when there was no refrigeration or ways to store meat and produce without it spoiling, they would encase it in salt, and salt would stop decay and putrefaction. So decay and putrefaction were often looked as death, as bad things happening. And they would then look at salt as keeping that away, and then it became a sympathetic type of thing. Well, if it keeps decay and decomposing away, it keeps negativity, it keeps decay, it keeps death away from me. And so it translated into salt becoming a form of protection. And you see it in Supernatural where they put the rings of salt around you and all that sort of thing. And it can I think disrupt, and please, if there are some people with some expertise in this area, please let me know, can disrupt electromagnetic fields too, I think. So maybe that has something to do with it as well. But basically, if you believe that putting a ring of salt around you is going to give you some sort of safety and protection, you have to believe it with all your might. Then that essentially gives you the protection that you're looking for, because your belief will protect you. Anything to add?
Also, because it is a very well-known superstition, and it is associated with supernatural stuff, it's something that is repeated because we tend to remember things that we have seen before as opposed to things that we have never seen. And so because you have heard for years and years and years the whole thing about salt, let's just repeat that, because that kind of just lays in the memory again, right? Rather than using something completely different. So people are questioning that or asking about it. Good questions.
Right. Yeah, they're awesome questions tonight, guys. Really, really good. And I'm so glad that we've gone back to doing this, because I know we have a lot of fun on the tarot shows, but we have so much more to offer than just being silly and well, Renata's not silly when she does her reading. She's very to the point, but we have more to offer as serious paranormal investigators. I know we're clowns and we have a lot of fun, and you guys have fun with us, but we have more to offer. Oh, I think we do anyway. Why, in your opinion, does ghostly activity suddenly start? Not had much activity here, but woke up to whispering in my room, and then the dog was growling, barking while following something with its eyes. Wow, Lizzie. I'll let Renata answer that one.
Can be many, many different reasons. It could be something just very general. It's one of those things, as they say. Or it could be something that is related to whatever emotional disturbance there is in the house. So sometimes you don't even know that you've carried an energy home with you, in that it's an energy that you've literally picked, an emotional energy, not as such a spiritual energy, but an emotional energy. So someone has said something to you that's been quite emotional, may have been sort of left you feeling a little bit distraught. You may have gone through something that kind of leaves you feeling on edge, or not settled. And it's quite interesting that animals will pick up on that very, very intense energy. Even when you feel that you've settled down or that you're calmed down, they will still pick up on this energy that is around. So again, it may have been something in that case with your dog that was just a one-off thing, or it may be something lingering around because of just some shifts or changes that are going on around you.
What was happening with you at the time, Lizzie? Were you in a stressed, heightened state of some form or other?
And waking up to whispering may not necessarily be whispering in the room. It may still be whispering that you're hearing in a semi-sleeping state. So part of your mind has awoken because it's hearing something, but it's actually still in dream state. You haven't woken up completely and totally.
Awesome. Right, back up into the 12 questions. Callan's taking his night vision goggles when we go to Dudley Castle. Oh, I'm so excited to go to Dudley Castle. Somebody messaged us on Instagram the other day saying that they can't wait to meet us at Dudley Castle. I don't know who it was. It'd be interesting. Megan, I had an experience with a shadow figure and I felt overwhelmingly positive and love. But then I hear people say a shadow is only negative.
We have this all the time, Megan. Great question.
Awesome question.
Just because it is a partial apparition, whether it be in a light form or a dark form, it doesn't necessarily mean that it is either angelic or demonic. It is the way it is presenting itself because of the energetic form it is able to take at that particular time. So my thing about it is I don't classify it as negative or positive. I just look at it and go, that's interesting. I wonder what all of that is about. And often formless things don't have too much of intelligence associated with them. They flutter in and out. You see them in the corner of your eye. They're there for a second and then they're gone. They may be doing repetitive things, like you'll see them doing the same thing or being in the same spot and then they disappear. And one thing that we kind of learned during this week, which is an interesting thing to think about, is the shadow forms that you see may well be spirit that is decaying over time. It's losing its energy. So that 10 years prior, you may have seen part of an apparition. And 10 years before that, you may have seen a form. But now as time has gone on, it's losing its potency. So all you're seeing is the shadow of it. That's it.
Yeah, my theory is that they don't quite have the energy to manifest fully. So you see a part manifestation and they can only get it to that stage. But I think it all goes back to when they've got baddies, it's always, they're negative, they're dark energies, and it's always you associate white witches with good and black witches with evil, and it's been so ingrained into us that the colour black is I know it's not colour, but is a negative evil thing. It's not at all. It's just spookier when it's dark. It's a little bit more confronting. I don't think there's actually anything negative to it at all. So thank you for being open, Megan, to the fact that it might be something that's not negative. My house is haunted and I love to find out her name and her story. What equipment should I use? My question always is, do you really want to know?
And the first thing that you can use, Karen, is a voice recorder. So sit down, ask questions.
On your phone even. You don't...
Wait for a reply and see if anything comes up. So that's the easiest thing to do, Karen. sit down with your voice recorder, tell your spirit friend that you're going to talk to them at 8:30 tonight or whenever, and then sit down. So keep your word. Sit down, turn the recorder on, and ask a series of questions. Wait a little bit in between each question, and then play it back and see if you get something.
And Justin mentioned possible thought forms for Q Station is because they've created the entities that are
Absolutely.
at those locations.
Absolutely.
Which, yeah. We will have to do a True Hauntings on Q Station at some stage or other. It's just, I know they'll never have us back once I do one. Oh, dear. Right, Leanne Leonard, do either of you have a favourite paranormal experience that stands out for you? You got anything, Renata?
Well, you're probably going to say the Maitland Jail thing, aren't you?
Oh, you're the one with the figure that was walking ahead of me in the dark.
Yeah.
I still have an awesome moment of, it wasn't a paranormal experience, but it was a paranormal location at the Birdcage Theatre where we had the black hearse carriage, the Black Mariah, I think they call it. And my husband, Roman, was very tired and was asleep underneath the table next to this extremely haunted carriage, snoring his head off, and it just sticks in my mind so dramatically. I've had some fun experiences also at the Stanley Hotel where we went and investigated with a whole group of crazy Americans, and we've done so much. We're so spoiled.
I still remember that experience many, many, many years ago when I was walking down Watt Street in Newcastle at about 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the middle of the day, and I needed to cross the street. So I looked very quickly to my left to make sure that cars weren't coming so I could cross the road. And then I looked over to my right, and there was an apparition walking up the street on the other side, but it was only half their body. So waist up, completely white, slightly transparent. I could see the movement in the arms. The person that stopped right next to me as I was crossing the road, because I kind of stopped in the middle of the road in that moment and have gone, oh my God, beeped their horn, and that just broke the energy. And of course that dissipated, it disappeared. But I remember vividly that white apparition. It was freaking outstanding, middle of the day, full sunshine, noise, stuff going on, cars going on, and there it was.
Oh, the other favourite paranormal experience I've had was in the seance parlour, apart from the table climbing the wall, was when I came up with that song, the theme from Peyton's Place.
Oh, yeah.
And it turned out that the lady's name, the daughter's name was Peyton, that she was trying to connect, and that blew my mind because that's when I suddenly realised maybe that I do have something, because it was such an odd name to come up with.
Yeah. Virginia, yeah, we did Fort Scratchley a number of years ago. We did it for about a year to a year and a half. We were not allowed to do ghosty stuff down there back then. We could give people
there not long ago.
We could give people I'm talking about a couple of years ago.
No, but we were there with Erin not long ago.
And we were allowed to give people a K2 meter, and that was it. So there wasn't a lot that was able to be kind of, you could be down there and feel stuff, but we weren't allowed to actually do investigations down there when we were doing it.
Oh my gosh, F Dragon and Sir Stash, thank you so much. We truly appreciate that. You've got no idea at this moment in time how much we appreciate that. And Becca Lee, thank you too so much, gorgeous one. Oh, you guys are so generous. Oh, thank you. We are going to have the best time.
Thank you, Kimmy.
Just to get out of the country and away from work for a bit at the moment. The energy tanks are a little low because we are trying to cram so much in before we go so that we can get our True Hauntings podcast and our Spooky Sunday show and everything organised before we go. And that means that we're having to do 3 recordings a week plus our regular shows. And it's just, it's big. It's big. So We are working very hard to try and keep the content up for you guys. Lawrence, welcome. Have you ever visited a site and have been physically stopped or prevented from being entered? For example, I have been to some historic sites and have been physically unable to do so. Yes, Renata, that is your story.
Yeah.
Good question.
I remember going to Tasmania and we went to the asylum at New Norfolk, which the beautiful... what's her name? Charmaine runs, yes. And there was a room there that I was actually stopped from going into. I had to wait until I was allowed. So I kind of just stood at the doorway and I said, I can't come in. I'm not sure why I can't come in. I have to wait. It's often they inspect you. I've had this a couple of times. I've been to a private investigation in a private home, and I was stopped at the front door as well, and I couldn't walk down the hallway until whoever it was that was there, which ended up being one of the owners that owned the house previously, just had a good old inspection of me and worked me out. And then it was like, yeah, okay, you can go in now. And so I just respect that. I don't necessarily kind of go, no, I'm going to fight you. I'm going to get in because I want to get in there, and you're not going to stop me. No, kind of go, okay, you need to check me out. That's fine. All right, take your time. I'll wait. And then you'll find that more often than not, you will be able to go in if you still want to.
And Daisy, don't apologise for asking too many questions. Your questions are awesome, and we really appreciate the fact that you're asking them. I saw people using cat balls for investigations to detect movement or vibration. Have you ever tried a DIY, which is do-it-yourself type instruments, or stick to more scientific methods?
Let's work with the scientific word first, Daisy. Over to you, Anne.
First off, we have to say hello to Ellie Mae, I just felt something brush up against me and I thought, what the hell was that? So that's Ellie Mae, everyone. She is our, I think, 14 or 15-year-old cat. So she's quite ancient and she's probably going to stick her claws into me. Off you go. Right. So when it comes to scientific, people get very confused in the paranormal community. They will use paranormal, they'll use
unless you're in a lab. Unless you're in a lab.
Telling this story.
Thingy.
This is my mess.
All right, you go. Go. Don't crack the shits. Don't crack the shits.
I'm done. I'm leaving. I'm going. No, we have equipment that measures environmental conditions like temperature, electromagnetic fields, movement, and people get that confused with doing a scientific investigation. To do a scientific investigation, as Renata said, you have to be in a controlled environment. You have to be in an environment that is no contamination whatsoever. It's been tested that you cannot fluctuate the temperature. You cannot fluctuate the electromagnetic fields in there. And it's a very controlled environment. But the problem with paranormal activity is it is spontaneous. You cannot ever guarantee when it is going to occur. You just have to hope you're going to be at the right place at the right time when something happens, when one of these gadgets go off. So I'm all about any form of experiments when you're out in the field because we don't have the answers. We've got no idea what's going on. At the moment, we're all still guessing. The only thing that's been tested and has found to be statistically true is forms of ESP or PSI, that there are people with the ability to change
environmental conditions
with their mind.
Yep.
It can be proven scientifically. They're not huge, massive changes, but it is significant enough to say that it's beyond average. So I reckon use any method you can. I would even go back to the good old talcum powder on the floor to see if anybody walks through it.
Yep.
Animal, man-made, whatever.
Yep.
There was one I remember on, and this is from Derby Jail, where they had a piece of paper. They put a cross on it. They drew around the outline of the cross with a pen. They put a camera on it. They walked away. when they came back, the cross had moved. They looked back at the footage and they saw the paper flutter and the cross slide. So that was really interesting, and that was not high tech. There is so many ways that you can go old school ghost hunting and still have a great time without having to get too stressed about scientific methods. I get so annoyed with people who say, oh, I investigate scientifically and this place is not haunted. And they've been once. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Warriors. Oh, thank you. How do you stop psychic information coming through to you when you're just living your everyday life? That's one you have to answer, Renata.
You have to learn to be in the moment and not go floating in your head all the time. So stop answering yourself and those voices. Stop allowing those voices to take over. And I know it's easy to say, it's harder to do, but you have to work out how much control you want to have over your life, because giving over the control to voices or spirits is just going to disrupt your ability to live normally. And remember, you are living a normal life in a body that requires care, and you require to do certain things on a day-to-day basis. So you can set intentions to go, okay, I'm going to go into meditation every Friday between 8 and 9 o'clock. If you want to contact me, that's the only time. I'm going to sit there with pen and paper. I'm going to write down everything that I'm being told, but that's my zone. If you work as a medium or a psychic, then you switch on then and you go, that's when I'm connecting, and that's when my mental capabilities are going to be switched on into the psychic world. Beyond that, I'm done. Don't even bother, because I ain't going to talk to the hand. But you have to be the person that takes control, Fiona, and says, this is the way it's going to be. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. And so when you hear the psychic information, when you feel that that's coming through, you're going to have to kind of just say, stop. Stop.
Sorry.
You're just going to have to say, stop. It's not time, and I'm not listening. Yeah. And try and stay in control. Now, if, Fiona, you're still having issues, then my suggestion is speak to someone maybe in your area who is proficient in being able to help and guide you through that control system a little bit better until you've got control.
And if you are watching on the YouTube feed, if you could just take a moment to make sure you've gone and given this video a thumbs up and you've subscribed, because that really helps us and we'd appreciate it very much. Cost you guys nothing, just a little bit of your time, and we appreciate it greatly. Sorry, we're still getting over our colds and things we had. Becca Lee Hogan, thank you so much. We truly appreciate that, and that is going to help us survive England and Ireland. So thank you, thank you. John said he saw Dad as a shadow after he passed. I was amazed and thought it was beautiful and honoured.
Yeah.
That's the way to look at it.
Yep.
Robin, I saw an apparition. I saw the colours of the man's clothes with detail. I saw his stance. I was pregnant at the time. Is it true pregnant women are a little more susceptible to picking up on spirits?
Yes, because you are coming into hypervigilance. Hypervigilance is when your mama genes kick in and you are in protective lioness zone. So your body will continually be testing your environment to see whether there is any threat around. In amongst that, you have also heightened all of your senses, and so you will be picking up on things. It probably for many women, that goes on for quite a number of years until your little one goes to school or preschool, and you can kind of breathe relief to say, I'm not caring for them for the next hour or 2 or 3. I can relax.
Lizzie, it must get so confusing dealing with real ghosts and thought forms. Does that come with natural medium intuition?
No,
because thought forms can be as real as the entities that are former humans.
Yeah, it does help
because
when
they're
you
created by humans, basically.
It does help when you ask the right questions. So asking the right questions from people who are having issues gives you gold. It really does. It allows you to understand what's going on.
And Ryan, thank you too so much from New Zealand.
Thank you, Ryan.
Wow, that is so cool. Where are you all watching from? And even if you're watching this later on, let us know in the comments where you are watching from, because I read all the comments. I love seeing that. It makes my day. Esther, thank you as well. Thank you very, very much for your that's going to give us a cup of coffee overseas. Thank heavens, because we need our coffee. We don't survive without it. Yeah, so do we have insurance for ourselves when you go to the sites? Yes, we do.
We have insurance for ourselves and for our guests, because to run a business, you have to have a whole damn lot of insurance. So I have public liability and I also have professional indemnity. So as a tour guide, and because I am providing something for the public, I need to also protect myself, but also as a reader and a psychic, I also have professional indemnity. Not that I've ever had to use it, knock on wood. Or we also have to protect everyone that we take on site by just assuring that we have insurances. And in most cases, sites will not let you on unless you can provide insurance.
Yes, I have insurance too as Ozparatech, my ghost hunting equipment store, because we do run tours occasionally for Randwick Council and events for Randwick Council, and we need to have insurance for that. But it also covers, I've extended my insurance now to cover Frightfully Good as well, so that wherever we're working as Frightfully Good running tours and things, we are covered by that as well. And it also covers us when we're investigating overseas, around the world, which is really essential. Is there a basic ghost hunting pack of equipment you could recommend without breaking the bank? Well, first off, you don't even need to go and buy the proper ghost hunting equipment. Says me, who owns a ghost hunting equipment store. You can use your phone to take photos. Just be aware if you use the flash with the case on, you may get
a ton of orbs.
Or hazing and things like that. Particularly if you're using the flash. You can use the voice recorder on your phone. You can buy the cat balls, which are a couple of dollars. There are so many ways that you can just sit in an environment and just say, I'm here, come and make yourself known to me. If you could touch my hair or tug on my clothing or give me a feeling of how you passed, you can just sit and do that. We do offer some ghost hunting kits on Ozparatech, so that's OZPARATECH.com. We have the Casper kit, which is from memory, a EMF meter and a spirit box. I've just changed the names of them. A Slimer kit, which is a digital recorder, a EMF meter and a spirit box, and there is another one as well, and I can't remember the name of what I called that one, which was a digital recorder and a K2. So they're little combinations of what I would say are good starters. It depends what you want to do. Do you want to try and capture voices on your digital recorders, or are you wanting to speak to them directly? Then you need a spirit box. If you want to check for changes for environmental conditions, then you need an EMF meter. And then you just add to it from there. But I'm just warning you now, it's very addictive. It's very, very addictive. Nuriah, thank you very, 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 very much. We really appreciate that. I can't see what it is here. Oh, no, thank you, Nuriah. Thank you. Oh, I've got my phone up now so I can see it. You're very generous. Thank you. Where are we up to on here? I feel when a building is happy or not. My sister was going to renovate an old home on a sheep farm in Western Australia. The whole way down the drive, I was uneasy. And when I went through the house, the whole time I kept hearing in my head, please leave me alone. couldn't get out quickly enough. The house didn't want to be renovated.
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah, it's okay. It's not theirs anymore, and you have to sort of lay claim in a nice way, play your music, open up the windows, paint nice, fresh, bright colours, and fill it with laughter and happiness and joy, and it'll come round. It'll come round. This is an awesome question. Has technology changed paranormal investigations?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's certainly produced a whole lot of TV shows.
Yeah.
So take away the technology from the TV shows and see what is left. And you would find that the TV shows would not survive, because no one would be watching a show where nothing happens. So did technology have to come along to provide extra entertainment for TV shows? I think it's kind of one of those things that it goes hand in hand, because I think the providing of technology to make TV shows more fun to watch has actually helped the paranormal field. I don't think it's to its detriment, but again, not everything is about the technology. It's a real mixture of everything.
It is, and some people get so obsessed with the technology that the ghost could walk right past them, and they're too busy looking at the screen saying, "Tell me what you think."
Yeah.
And there's a spirit going, "Hello, I'm over here," but you're too busy going, "No, I want to know."
Yeah.
But it's also led to a lot of
false
shysters.
Yeah, false.
Getting on the bandwagon and creating all sorts of different things that look really fancy and have crystals and copper wire wrapped around it, and the spirits are going to... And whoever just died recently is going to talk to me tonight.
Yeah. And Daisy, don't apologise about the scientific method.
Oh, no, that was
Absolutely
such a good question.
It's
Thank
a really
you.
good, really good question.
I got on my high horse. It makes me happy.
And Lawrence, yes, we have.
Yes, we have many times. We actually have. That's why I was a little startled when my cat came in, because we have a regular occurrence here in this room of a cat winding around your ankle. So I thought it was the ghost at first, and I realised that it was my real cat. Oh, Monique, thank you so much for your stars. We really appreciate that. You're very generous. Thank you. Right, where am I up to? We're just about done. Why did I have a lot of deja vu moments when I was younger, but not so much now? And what causes it to happen? Is it like spiritual connections or something else?
It's something else.
I did a whole thing on this with Lloyd Auerbach, and I can barely remember it.
Yeah, so deja vu is an experience where you feel as though you have been somewhere before, or it is
you've walked through this moment before.
Yeah, it's happened. It's happened before. Do you remember what Lloyd says about it?
It's something to do with memory triggers in the brain. Of you may have, like, if you're walking down a street in England, say you and I are walking down a street in England, and you go, "Oh, I feel like I've done this before." In actual fact, you've been researching trips going to England, doing this, and you may have seen something similar in your research, and it's stored in the back of your mind, and there is something about that streetscape that triggers it, and you feel like you've done it before, but in actual fact, it's just a memory trigger that is fairly similar, but it gives you that sense.
Yeah.
And children, I think, I can't, honestly, I'd have to go back and look at my research, but I would like to sort of find out more about that again. But I have deja vu moments too. It's really odd. And Fiona said, "Thank you, ladies, for sharing your knowledge like this. You're both so generous with your time." We love being with our community. We really, really do. And we have, as you can probably see here, some awesome people. And they just come on every time we're on, and they chat, and they all know each other. I wish we could organise something at some stage or other where we all got together and just just all met each other face to face. We've met some of you, not all of you. We're going to catch up with Joanne again when we go to England in a couple of weeks' time. We've got Danielle in Ireland that we go and catch up with. Wherever we are in the world, if there is some of our followers nearby, we are more than happy to come and have a cup of coffee and chat and meet you, because it's such a thrill. We're nothing without you guys. If we didn't have an audience that came on and spoke to us, there'd be no point being here. So we really do appreciate that so much. Esther Marshall, thank you so much for your super sticker. We really appreciate that. You guys have been so generous tonight with your time, your questions, and also your hard-earned dollars. So, yes, please, Campfire Ghost Stories. We have to do some more Seriously Weird. I have got so behind on editing that up because I've been doing Temu bloody videos. If you're on YouTube, go check out the Temu videos. Just wear some Depends. Put a towel on the chair. It could all go astray. But that brings us to the end tonight. The questions have been amazing.
They have been awesome.
You've made us think. I love it.
Awesome.
So glad we brought this night back. Anyway, we will be back on the first Thursday of next month for our tarot night. So we'll be doing the questions and I'll be reading from the naughty cards.
Oh, that's so nice, Daisy.
Sounds like fun. Oh, look how Tim and I found people often say that they feel like they're sitting down and they're having a cup of coffee with us.
Listening to two old ladies talking on the bus. We had a comment on something that we did.
Yeah.
And the guy said, oh, it's like listening to two old ladies sitting on the bus having a chat.
Talking shit. But if you like our sense of humour, then listen to the True Hauntings podcast, listen to the Spooky Sundays podcast. Diary of a Ghost Hunter podcast is a little bit more serious. We have more... you wake your kids up laughing, Raylene. Yeah, Daisy, welcome to the family. You are definitely one of us. Yeah. Oh, you just heard me on the Believe... We get around. Trust me. We actually got interviewed the other day. We were on some sort of thing that they're going to put up for us, but and we're on UFM radio yesterday, and we're media whores, basically. Whatever it is, we'll do it. But thank you guys for being with us tonight. We're going to go rest our voices now, and we will see you on and off. We'll try to get online and say hello, but we'll definitely be back 8:30 p.m. first Thursday of the month, and that will be the last one before we go to England.
Yes. Joan, yes, I do readings. I do tarot card readings at the Witch's Charm on the Esplanade at Warners Bay.
But if they'd like a reading, you can also become a Patreon. Our Patreons are the Grand Pooh Bar group. If you join the Grand Pooh Bars, which I think is $10 US a month, you get... We were with them for half an hour, 45 minutes before we came onto this show, and we did some readings for them, and we chat and we tell them about everything that's happening. And they're our inner circle. If you want to become part of our inner circle, $10 US a month. Find us on Patreon, Anne and Renata. But where can they email you for a reading, Renata?
At tarotqueen@gmail.com.
Right.
tarotqueen@gmail.com.
I've
got a great group starting up on the 1st of May where we're going to be going into personal development, manifesting and all of that sort of stuff. That's run off my Facebook page. And I sort of do a lot of stuff with psychic development and inner work and things like that there. And I'll actually be developing a special group for that where we're just going to be working on that every day.
We keep saying we're going and we're still here.
I
know. Good night, everyone. Bye. Thanks for being here.
Love you.
See you on the dark side.